It's a special meeting. I ask that you stand for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And this evening, please keep the family of Louise Davis in your prayers. The Davis family has been a family in town for about 50 years. Louise Davis is the wife of Jeep Davis, who was involved in baseball for about 25 years. She died yesterday. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This evening we have 3 agenda items. There are copies up in front. You do have a list there, but it doesn't. How long is it?
3.
Okay. Roll call, please, Mr. Bates.
David Bell. Here. Nancy Sherlock.
Here.
Greg Kern.
Here.
Rick DeCicero.
Here.
Jennifer Johnson. Is not here. Mauricio Fell. Here.
Mr. Johnson is here by phone.
Lynn Chronicle.
Here.
Ted Parker.
Here.
Todd Sanford.
Here.
Billy Smith.
Here.
Susan,
We have Barbara Marley here this evening, representing Freeman Shooting Firm.
Reed Zero.
All right, next we'll have the hearing of the public. Please come forward. We have Holly Harmon.
Evening, Holly Carmen, Prospect Avenue.
Holly, excuse me, Holly, would you see if that's on?
Seemed like it.
There's a button on the front. There you go.
Yeah, got it. Okay, just 4 quick items. And actually, these are for someone who can't be here, so I'm just reading them for her. First question, why didn't we get a grant for the lighting like Bristol Township did? Second item, why is it a 5-year contract like Bristol Township? Why isn't it? And since the contract isn't signed, can we adjust the terms? And last, why are motions put on the agenda without public comment? I promised her I'd ask. I asked.
I think the Johnson Controls questions we should answer when we get to Johnson Controls. All right.
That's what she was talking about.
Okay. And as far as motions, I'm not aware of it. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Good evening. Bill Pepitone, Fortune 5, Hillcrest Avenue. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed that there was going to be a bike auction by the borough, and all the monies raised were going to go for the purchase of vests for police officers. I think it's a great idea. I immediately thought it was a great idea. Knowing the expense of an individual vest, I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to reach the total amount to pay for all the vests that the officers need. So myself and a few residents decided to start another fundraiser, an online electronic fundraiser, to supplement the bike auction fundraiser. It is not a competition with the bike auction. It is a separate fundraiser with the monies going to the same cause. That's putting vests on our police officers, brand new vests. I did make a statement that the vests were going to expire, the vests that are being worn by our officers now are going to expire this summer. That was a mistake on my part. I apologize for putting out any misinformation. I've been told by Chief McClay that the vests actually expire next year. So we're good for another year. I was also informed by Chief McClay that he supports the fundraiser, the electronic fundraiser, and that he has promised that every dime we raise will go to the purchase of those vests next year. So every dime will go to the Morrisville Police Association, which is the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, for the purchase of those vests next year. So that's an exciting project. It's really, really a great project because we're getting the community and the police department together. We're building a bridge between the police and the community, and you can't go wrong. You just absolutely can't go wrong. Hopefully, we raise enough money to pay for all of the vests. I know, and Ms. Sherlock had just informed me as well, Chief McClay has in the borough applied for grants, which hopefully can reimburse us for a large portion of whatever money we put out. So it's a great cause. I thank everybody that's here that has already donated, everybody that's going to donate. Thank you very much. We can't go wrong. And again, it is to supplement the bike auction. We're working together. We're not working against each other.
I saw you have a 60-day time limit on that.
Yes, that's the max.
Is that the max you can do?
That's the max I can
I
do.
wasn't sure if you extended since you don't need it until next year.
We can restart it. I can't extend that particular one, but we can restart it.
All right.
And bottom line, raise as much money as we can.
It's on the regular news feed of Facebook? Is where
I
it's
put it
at?
on several Facebook pages. If you want, I can put it on the Morrisville Borough page, whatever you need me to put it on. It's basically click the link, it'll take you right to the page. You can donate electronically. It's very, very simple.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Talk to the
Thank
chief
you.
about putting it on the police Facebook page.
I haven't talked to the chief about that.
Saying if he approves that,
Okay.
that's publication.
That'd be great. Okay. And happy holidays. We won't see you till after the holiday. Thank you very much.
Next is Patricia Shaw.
Patricia Shell, 62 Grandview Avenue. I think kind of what Holly was mentioning about things being put on agenda without any public input is your three mentions right here. I mean, if you would have the courtesy to have an agenda meeting for the public, someone would know what you plan on voting for at a public meeting, and people could be prepared for it. Maybe we could hear some of the discussion that you would have and some of your input, because, you know, sometimes when you talk among yourselves, you get different ideas from people that I don't know if this council wants different ideas. Okay, my first question is the bond council. Why is it being called a bond council when you're not floating a bond?
Our attorney will mention that when we get to that vote.
Well, again, if you had an agenda meeting, it would be nice if this could be mentioned so the public could know a little bit. I have a question too, why you have to have a bond council? Because at one of our meetings, Mr. Kilkenny announced that TD Bank, he also represented TD Bank, and there was a conflict. So do we have to have a separate council because you're borrowing this money from TD Bank and Mr. Kilkenny also does work for them, so it's a conflict? Is that why we have to have a special council?
No.
Why do we have to have a council? Why do we have to have a
Michelle,
special council?
we'll discuss that, and our attorney will answer your questions when we get to that portion of the.
This is the problem, because then again, if with your discussion, we have other questions, you don't let anybody ever ask another question. So if we develop more questions while you're discussing it, we're just out of luck.
I asked all your questions, but I am telling you that she will discuss this. when we
What
get to
happens
our-
if, when that discussion happens, I develop more questions? I'm out of luck, we're getting answers on them. Okay, my next question is, the demolition of the pool. Why do you have to rush into this? I wholeheartedly believe that there is work that has to be done there. But, you know, we have a problem with bathrooms down at the island. Is there any possibility that these bathrooms could be saved? I totally 100% believe in filling in the pools as soon as possible. But before you do any demolition of buildings, I think somebody better do a little bit of thinking and a little bit of preparing, because there could be bathrooms that we could use down there. There's a possibility the kitchen area could be used. You could be just wanting to real quick demolish property that could have or be an asset to our community. If those bathrooms just need a little bit of sprucing up, just think of the additional bathrooms we would have down there. The kitchen, the one concession stand is a disaster. What happens if that concession stand that's there would be better? You know, just a little bit to think about. You just don't rush into everything here that seems to happen all the time. Okay, and the block grant money. Have you had hearings at all on that block grant money?
No, ma'am.
Well, don't you normally have discussion with the community to get ideas of what the community would like with block grant money?
That will be discussed when we get to that portion. We received a letter, just for public's knowledge, we received a letter April 2nd into this borough. The grant is due April 25th.
Again, we always have to have special meetings to rush into everything. Always have to have special meetings, and we don't have agenda so people really know what's going on.
It has nothing to do with the agenda, Michelle.
No, just have a rush special meeting.
Talk to the borough, talk to the county commissioners.
They're not moving a special meeting, are they?
There will be another special meeting later this month too, just let the public know this month. Because we have to have a public meeting to discuss any project we'll do at DCPD. Let's move on to new business. 7A, motion to approve appointment of bond counsel in connection with the issuance of the $1.25 million general obligation note at the cost of $3,000. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments from the council? Unless you want to speak first.
The bond council, I can't hear you. Does that work?
No.
All right. The bond council opinion, to answer the question raised earlier, is necessary in connection with the issuance of the general obligation note for the purpose of providing the lender to the bank an opinion from council that the interest rate on the note will be tax exempt with regard to the borough. It's as simple as that, and bond counsel is typically different from counsel who is providing an opinion for this transaction with regard to the borough's approval of the ordinance and approval of the note, et cetera, and the DCD application. All of that gets covered by a separate opinion letter, and the bond counsel is necessary, as I said, as a separate opinion required by the lender, just for that purpose, to say that after review of all the documents and the transaction, that the interest rate on the bond will be tax-free on the loan. And that's essentially what the purpose is. And our survey of potential bond counsel was done in terms of finding someone appropriate and reasonable to appoint as bond counsel, and this amount is very reasonable in comparison to other firms that have done this sort of work.
Council, question, please.
I guess I want to know, did we ever have to have a bond counsel before when we took unit debt out before?
In the 2004, in the 2000.
Yeah, did you have a bond counsel?
Capital improvement fund?
Yeah.
That we're borrowing money from a different entity right now. Back then, what we did is we raised taxes. We raised taxes at that time. We included it in the budget and raised taxes. That's how we were paying it back. This is different. We're now taking out a loan to do this. So I don't recall, but I'm going to say that that probably did not happen. Any other questions? Okay, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cicero.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
I can't hear him.
Go ahead, Mr. Jeff. Go ahead, Ken. Ms. Carnicle.
Yes.
Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Sanford.
No.
Ms. Smith.
No.
Mr. Kerner.
Yes.
Ms. Sherlock.
Yes. Motion carries 6-2. motion to approve the borough manager and assistant borough manager to begin the process of demolition of the former Morrisville Pool area in Williamson Park. We'll have discussion, but can I have a motion, please?
I'll move that one.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. Now we can have discussion, questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have a scope of work? Do we know what's going to be demolished and what's remaining, or?
I think demolition was the wrong term to use, honestly.
Basically, we're just gonna fill, right now, we're gonna fill the holes in the pools. We're gonna leave the buildings alone until council really decides what they wanna do with the buildings.
If we're gonna just do that, I'd also suggest we paint over the Morrisville Pool sign,
Okay.
just so people aren't reminded of what it used to be.
And whatever council wants to do, if you guys wanna meet.
I'd like to look at those buildings before we make any motions to destroy them. I'd like to see what we
No,
have.
we're not gonna destroy the buildings.
Can we amend the motion to make it clear that building the pool is not?
Well, if you withdraw this motion, we'll just have a new motion. If you want to make the motion first.
Yeah, that's fine.
The first and second, agree?
I have a question. Now, I haven't really looked at the property up close. But is there a part of it that needs to come down? Like the changing room or whatever it is, the living areas?
We don't know that yet.
Everything.
Well, where I'm getting at, what you decide on part of the plan is whatever you get rid of. Like if there's any block work that needs to be removed, then you can put that in towards clean film.
Do we have a
Of course.
motion yet?
Not yet.
All right, can I make a new motion then so we can discuss?
Well, let's,
If you
can I,
leave the motion at begin demolition, we're not gonna go any further than.
I'll make a new motion, which is like, call
so I have to have the first one withdrawn first.
I'll withdraw that
You
one.
withdrew it and Ted, right? Okay, so that's
I'll
withdrawn.
make a
Thank
motion
you.
that we authorize the borough manager and assistant borough manager to develop a plan to be submitted to council and how we are going to proceed in the reconstruction and or demolition of the pool. First phase should be to make the pool safe, and that includes filling in the holes. We should do that forthwith. The rest should wait until council has decided which action to take.
Okay, well, that's like 2 or 3 steps, so we could just, I thought we were just gonna do the one step. Could you write that down for me, please? Okay, so the motion is to wait for a plan from the borough manager?
Well,
Now, but he's not gonna do the plan, we're gonna do it.
yeah, like I said before the meeting started, when I first saw it on there, I have to agree with Pat. We need to, I haven't viewed that, a lot of us haven't. I'd like to go down there and actually see it for myself and what can be salvaged, because you've got water lines down there, and the bathroom down there. We could use another bathroom in that park when we have activities going on. If it's something that just can be revitalized, maybe new fixtures, maybe ADA, make sure you get in with that. But we might be able to use that even for like a little rec center or something, but I would not touch that until we all get a chance to go down there and take a walk through and see what's there. Safety wise, as far as that pool, it's been sitting there for 5 years. It's been a safety hazard for 5 years. I didn't think this had to be tonight be put on here as a drastic thing that had to be done without knowing. So, yeah, I'd like to pull that back.
So you don't wanna do anything then?
Well, as far as filling in that hole,
That's what
yeah, if you
I
want
wanna
to do
do.
that, but the other stuff, a plan, yeah, just a plan for us to
We
do
have
now.
a motion to just fill in the hole and,
Fill in the
Is
hole.
that the motion that Vic?
well, no, Victor's was more involved the plan from the borough manager, but I think the plan needs to come after we decide what we wanna do, or,
Well,
discuss it, or view it, or,
Who's
I just
gonna
wanted to get the pool
develop-
filled in.
Who's gonna develop this plan?
We should.
I think-
Eight of us here are gonna sit down and develop the plan.
No,
Okay. Who's gonna develop the plan?
I think that there are people on this council that wanna go see the place.
That's right, yes, and they can then,
That's right.
they can then
And
offer
then they
their
can come back to
input
Tom, and then
into.
we'll have input.
Right.
But that's not what I wanna do is fill in the pool. We waited to.
So like I said, that's the first thing we should do.
Okay, yeah, but yours, you had more to it. That was very,
Well, can we at least take a walk down there?
of course you can.
so let's look at the original motion.
Can I have the motion, please?
The original motion to approve the borough manager and assistant borough manager to begin the process of filling in of the upper pool at the Morrisville Swim Club.
Well, there's also.
The former one.
So you should just say pools.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to word it, but
You said it right. filling in the pools at the former Morrisville Pool area in Williamson Park. Any questions or comments on this particular motion?
Are we gonna maintain the fencing around it to make it safe?
For now.
Yeah.
Keep it there. Yeah, our insurance company would have it any other way. All right, any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Next, 7C, a motion to approve a proposed project in Williamson Park using CDBG money. It's, that's a typo there, it's CBDG. Last Thursday, on April 2nd, the borough received a letter from the county, CBDG from Carol Jansen's, so that's last Thursday, which came way after we were going to have any sort of agenda meeting for clarification. The grant is due by the 25th of this month. It must be in the county's office. That gives us very little time to get a grant together. So what Tom and Bob did was pull one that we have on the shelf. It was the one that we tried to get last year. It's an ADA bathroom at the old canteen area.
Let's make it handicap accessible bathroom.
The bathroom is already there.
Yes, we were denied that last year.
It's demolition of the existing bathroom fixtures, it's installation of the ADA compliant fixtures, and the support for the fixtures, ADA support, and design fees and stuff, and it's about $8,000. Now, they say that they aren't going to consider anything basically under $50,000, but they still might consider this.
I'd like to read one paragraph that came with that letter, and it said, in order to bring you up to date with the CDBG funding, we have recently been informed by HUD that our 2014 allocation will be approximately $1,761,465 in CDBG funds, and that's for an entire county. And they're estimating that $1,360,000 will be available to the projects. The application instructions, which are attached for your reference, list the priority targets, and projects totaling less than $50,000 will not be considered as a priority target. So they want bigger projects, but I don't know that many people will be able to get bigger projects together inside of.
Such a short.
Could we repay some of the paths in Williamson Park? Or is that-
We can't get the project together in that short a time either.
You have to have.
We looked at, you have to need an engineering study, and there's no way that we look to do that, but we can't get it together either. So we don't think anybody else is going to be able to get these projects together. So even our $8,000 project
Might be
probably
considered.
might be considered.
All right. This is a calendar of events. April 2nd, applications were distributed via email. April 3rd, notice of funding availability of applications, deadlines, and the public meeting and the commissioner approval will be published. April 17th, public meeting will be held to solicit input of the action plan. Now that's at the county level, that's not locally. April 25th, all applications are due by 4 p.m. So the advisory board meetings will not be until May 5th. So when and if these are approved, they will not be, obviously they won't be awarded until sometime next year. So this is not something we're going to get right away anyway.
So I'm confused. This paperwork that we got from them for the Morrisville Park area, this is separate from what you're talking about.
Correct. That's the one, that's from last year.
Okay.
They approved that.
Okay.
And that's going to happen.
That's happening. Okay.
This just came.
April 2nd.
Handed over to me. Just came April 2nd. That's the Thursday afternoon. So I just want people to know that, you can oftentimes say, well, you didn't let us know. They just let us know April 2nd. Today is the 9th. So yes, sometimes things are very quick and
But we'll have to have a meeting.
oh, if everyone on council would agree to this particular project, which is the only one we have shelved right now, which was one that we submitted last year but was rejected. We can submit it again this year if everybody agrees to that, that'd be great. But then
everything done for that?
The only concern I have about that is we were hoping and expecting to get other grant monies for that.
If we're gonna apply for an $8,000 grant.
Anyway, we might help that.
Especially if you're saying this, they want projects over $50,000.
So put the both in, or you're saying just one?
Well, if there's no scope, no limit to the number of projects.
If it's ready for that, I would check with Patrick Starr, make sure that he agrees.
Okay, yeah.
You can use county money to get it done quicker.
If they don't want to do it, they don't have to approve it, right? Let's put it out there.
Right, we can turn it down, so.
The only concern I have is that it crosses a state highway, which I know is always comes into question when CDBG does considers it. I'm all for sending it in.
Well, we can put it in and see what they say.
Well, we do have to talk to Patrick Starr first. All right, so then the motion will really be projects. To approve proposed projects to be, well, I'd like it to be approved. Projects to be submitted to Bucks County's CDBG, advisory. Two motions, separate, make them separate? All right. Anybody good with that? Problem with that? Pardon me?
Is he saying that they will go together?
Well, they're gonna be some, I don't, we have to have some motions, we have to have two different projects. We're gonna send them up individually, but I don't know that. With the first and second of that motion, agree to, add the word projects. Proposed projects, and then just name the two. Who was that? Yeah, who was that? Who made that motion? Do you have it written down?
Is that part?
I'm Ted. What's that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, so the motion is, please, you want to read that, Fred?
Motion to approve two proposed projects, one in Williamson Park and one on the Canal at Bridge Street using CBDG grant.
Okay.
Maybe clarify the Williamson Park and say ADA compliant bathroom in Williamson Park.
This is where the public has questions.
No way.
I'll second it.
This bathroom project is for an existing bathroom that's down there. It's for the existing bathroom. It just would be made ADA. Again, it's a project we put in for last year, we were denied. Try again. Debbie? Oh, never mind, we just went in. All right, so, all those in favor of Fred's motion, do you have a second?
Corinne seconded.
Oh, Fred seconded, sorry. Any questions or comments on that motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Motion carries 8-0. I have a couple of announcements to make, but Debbie, do you want that letter to be brought with you?
Can you talk to Mike?
The one about the other project, just wanted to, like, read the first paragraph. No, that's okay. You want to read the first paragraph, just so let the folks know? Yeah.
Funding, what the approval was for?
Correct. Is your mic on?
Yeah, I think so. The approval was for, CDBG grant approval was for the funding contract for Williamson Park. For, let me read what they have in here, what they're gonna do. We were granted, $135,213 for the use in the storm drain repair at the Williamson Park. The piping is to include replacing a 48-inch HD PE storm pipe with new manholes, inlets, bicycle safe grates. In addition, trench paving construction in the parking lot will be included, asphalted wearing base course and stone subbase in the area off the paving surface. The trench repair will be topsoil, fescue, grass seeding, and hay mulch. So it's to repair the water problem that we're having with that pipe down in Williamson Park. We were granted that money. It was put in last year for CDBG.
And we're just getting awarded it now.
Awarding it now.
And it was actually part of the big dig, if anybody remembers the big dig here in Morrisville. So that was down, and it's the southern end of the park. And obviously the carnival's going to have to take place before they can start. Just a couple of announcements. The first announcement, you may see ducks up here. That's just to promote the Canal Festival, which is June 21st. That's the collaboration between the 4 landmark towns, New Hope, Yardley, Morrisville, and Bristol, and each of the 4 towns has an event happening. Bristol's is Friday night, and then New Hope's, Yardley, and Morrisville are during the day on Saturday. Morrisville's will be from 6 to 9 that Saturday evening. The ducks are for sale, they're $5 a piece. We encourage you to decorate them, and then they're in a contest. Next we have the carnival, which is May 13th to the 18th. The Morrisville Little League Parade is this Saturday. This is the rain date. All those attending, please, from up here at the dais with noon on Saturday at MR School. We received a letter from Mr. Downey regarding, he's been handling our sanitation arrears, and I think everybody got that on Friday. I just want to make the announcement that we're retaining him, we continue to retain him to do that particular project. I don't have a figure on that yet. May 10th, hazardous waste can be taken to Lower Makefield Corporate Center. Their information is on the website. I encourage this because this borough pays about, I think it's $1,400 a year to be part of this program, so anybody in town is able to make use of these particular sites. And then last, Rivertown Road Rally is April 19th. I don't know if there's any more room left for any cars, but if not, it sounds like a lot of fun. It's like a, kind of like a Where's Waldo, isn't it? Sort of. Yeah, where you'll have clues in each town, and you can have more than one person in a car, so if you want to go as a group, and then you have to read the clues and then get back to the original location. So it sounds like fun.
And registration is per vehicle, not per person.
Correct. Are there any other announcements at this time?
Yes, Nancy. The Morrisville Business Association is having a fundraiser at Chick-fil-A on Monday. You would have to go in and pick up a slip, but it's 5 to 8 in the evening. You don't worry about cooking, and all the proceeds go to a big scholarship fund for the high school. It's coming Monday, yes.
The scholarship.
For the high school.
For the high school.
Thank you. And you have to register at the store?
You would go into, I think there are slips being passed around on Facebook, but if you can't get a hold of them, you can just go inside, and it is from 5 to 8. They just have to write on the slip how much you spent. So you do need that slip.
And I don't think they'll have to solicit those slips, you have to go up.
Correct. Yeah, there'll be balloons there, you'll see.
Any other announcements?
Okay, since the topic of the vest was mentioned, I didn't plan on speaking on it, but I do have a statement from our Chief George McClay gave me a statement, so I'll just read a statement tonight. Statement from Chief George McClay in reference to bulletproof vest and the members of the Morrisville Police Department. I am aware of the vest the officers are currently wearing and that they are within the standard that has been set by the United States Department of Justice. The vests the officers are wearing were replaced in 2010 and have a lifespan of 5 years. The department has applied for a matching grant that will be issued in September 2014. The department will purchase vests soon as receiving this grant. The officers are protected by their vests, and I will continue to update their equipment to keep the officers safe. I encourage participation in fundraising by any group as the need arises in the future. Please contact me before fundraising activities. Please contact my office if I can be of assistance in these matters. My doors are always open. Thank you. George McClay, Chief of Police. And just so everyone knows, donations are always
President, can I respond to that quickly?
I think you did, but,
Okay.
you mean on record?
On record, off record.
You talk to me afterwards, how's that?
That's fine. That's fine. I like to talk to Councilman Parker.
Okay.
Could I just say something that's, just a question? With the grant that the chief applied for, will it cover the amount of those vests? Does he have any idea?
Actually, he's applied for more than one grant, so they're hoping that it would, actually. And if there was a shortfall, certain the council would be made aware of it.
And just to add to that, and for the figure here, we do have a line item for equipment, which would come under, and that we did budget for. So we knew that this was coming, just like that. Any other, anything else? May I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We have adjourned at 8:10. 12, I'm sorry, 8:12.
The mayor read it. It was really the reason to put it on Facebook. You can go back on right now. Talk about other members of council.
I just dabble.
I know what you're doing. I think that's a concern that it's really not.